Welcome to Agapa Freedom Sports. So tonight we got a special guest, Matt Lyons from. Hold on, things are popping up here. So here we go. Tonight we got a special guest, Matt Lyons from Holy Cross. He played on their basketball team varsity team from freshman. He's a junior there. He's going to be a senior next year. And he helped his team make it into the state championships this past year. I've followed Holy Cross all season long. I interviewed his head coach, Al Clayus Jr. in January. And Al's dad was a longtime coach at Bishop O'Hara, which is now Holy Cross. And it's combined with Bishop Hanning. So Bishop Hanning and Bishop O'Hara are now combined. And it's Holy Cross High School. So I am so excited to be interviewing Matt. I'm even more excited that I'm just going to throw it out there. I love sports. I think Holy Cross is a team to win the state championship next year. Mark my words. But it's going to take a lot of work, going to take a lot of team effort, and they're going to have to be humble and just keep thriving and keep moving forward and learning from their errors and mistakes and just have a team goal and get there. So that's my prediction. But without further ado, I'm going to bring Matt on here. I'm so pumped to have him here. I love sports. Good evening, Matt. How are you doing?
How are you? Thank you very much for having me.
No problem. Thanks for taking your time out of your busy schedule, because I know you do track and field. And I saw it was last week you just broke a school record.
Yep, broke our school record for high jump.
Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, got your name in the records book for that.
Yep.
Amazing. So, yeah, I am thrilled to have you on here. I love sports. I love basketball. I'm a longtime Syracuse Orange fan since 2003, since Jerry McNamara was from our area. He went up there, played for Syracuse in 2003, and I think he graduated 2006 or something, and he won a national championship his freshman year. So I became a fan, but since he's going to a different college now as head coach, Cena, I think I already bought the shorts. They're just too big. I sent them back today. So Cena basketball shorts or whatever. So I'm going to become a Cena fan. But yeah, basketball in this area, really hasn't been that big. I think now more and more teams, even this year, has made state playoffs. I've competed in state playoffs and came short of the state championships. So yeah, so hopefully basketball continues getting big in this area. So,
absolutely.
So yeah, let's start. I have a question for you. So, what's a favorite food of yours?
I gotta say, I gotta go to my night before my game meal of a bacon cheeseburger and fries. I don't know why it was sticking earlier in the year. We were winning with it, and I don't know. I'm a big burger guy. Wherever I go, I get burgers. So night before every game, I usually get a bacon cheeseburger from somewhere.
Somewhere, any particular place you like it from?
There's a Five Guys that just came near my house. That's usually pretty good, and anywhere else in the area, really.
Five Guys is pretty good. They give you a lot of fries, I think, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite movie?
I probably gotta say Hustle there, the new movie with Adam Sandler about the Sixers. I'm a big Sixers fan, and obviously a big basketball guy, and I think that movie had a lot of meaning to me, and I think it was just very enjoyable, just how they made it, and just seeing like Philly, because I've been down there a lot, and like seeing all the places I've been, and how it ties into how someone can become a pro.
Yeah, that's a good movie. I watched it. I think it was last year or something. But yeah, definitely a good movie. I liked the was it Coach Carter?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very inspiring.
Yep.
And then Glory Road inspired me a lot. And then I think I learned later, a couple years in, when I was volunteer coach for a men's softball team, that some of the tactics they use back in the older movies is not exactly always acceptable today.
Yeah, I mean, times have changed, so I think I've seen it firsthand. I've been watching basketball and watching sports. Yeah. My grandpa was a big coach at Scranton Prep, and I've like would always go to the prep games when I was younger, and definitely seeing how that changed from when I got to high school. I think coaching has definitely evolved a lot.
It's pretty cool. So you grew up watching your grandpa coach and stuff, and I think he passed. Am I correct? Or,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry about that, but
All right.
you know, a lot of good memories. I'm sure you
Yep.
got there.
Absolutely.
Great. You know, do you have a do you have a favorite local restaurant, and what is it?
Probably Dino and Francesco's in Music. It's probably about 5 minutes from my house, and I gotta say, I probably eat there 3 or 4 times a week. I'm there a lot, and I've been going there my whole life, so it's definitely a go-to for me.
I'm gonna have to try it one time. I haven't yet,
It's pretty good.
and I work in that area. So, um, do you have like an all-time favorite musician or band?
Um, I don't know. Music hasn't really been a big thing for me recently. I've definitely been listening to a lot more. I've been listening to a lot of Drake recently, but music has like just recently became a big thing for me. I was never really a big listener up until probably high school, and now I'm constantly listening to music, whether I'm in the car on the way to a game, anything like that. So I think that's definitely been a newer thing for me.
What song motivates you? Like, do you listen to before a game or music?
I don't know. I got a playlist of them. Usually just click shuffle on that before the game starts, and just kind of try to lock in for the game and tune everything else out and just listen to that.
Good way to go. Good. Who's your favorite all-time basketball player?
I don't know. There's a lot of good ones. I'd probably say Kevin Durant. I think I model my game after him a little bit. Him being a bigger, lankier guy, kind of like me. Obviously, he's pushing 7 foot, and I'm nowhere near that. But I think definitely with the long arms, and I try to get a little bit from him because working as a bigger guy trying to shoot with the longer arms, not everyone can really teach that around here because every shot's different. But I think trying to learn moves from him and use the length to my advantage definitely has helped me.
Yeah, definitely good. Now this question I ask every sports person I bring on there. Some of the answers shocked me. Some of them were kind of sad. Like I interviewed Ryan Lamar. He played in major leagues he was up and down minor major leagues. I think in February. Answered like about his grandmother. I think his grandmother passed away a couple months ago. So yeah. So whatever. If you could have coffee with someone from the past or present, who would it be? What question would you ask them?
It would definitely be probably my grandma, my grandpa. I lost my grandpa when I was, I think, 6 back in 2013, and I lost my grandma just this past summer. And I'd probably be asking him more than her because he was obviously a big basketball coach at prep. Like, am I doing it right? Like, obviously, I'd love to have him coaching me right now, but unfortunately, he can't be. But I mean, he won a state championship at prep, and he's been in the big time situations that I'm just seeing myself in for the first time. So like I asked him for any form of assistance, really, how to deal with these bigger games, how to deal with these bigger guys going against it. Cause 30 years of coaching from him, he's definitely got to know a thing or two. So
good answer. But I mean, I'm going to just sympathize here a little bit, but I think if he was alive, he would be very proud of you.
Thank you.
I think you're doing a good job. You're working hard. I think you got better at the game as the season went on, and you made your state championship in Holy Cross. Last time they've been there was 2013. That's like what 10, 11 years, and they haven't made it there too much. I mean, I think besides Mac, well, it was Bishop Harrow then, and yeah, I definitely think you were very proud, and he's in heaven now. I'm sure smiling down and proud of you. So, one fear you would love to conquer.
I mean, probably the fear of failure. I mean, everybody fails. It's what helps people grow. But I think I'm more worried about sometimes like what will happen if I lose than what will happen if I win. And I think if I change that mindset for next year and not be worrying about what would happen if we lose this game, lose this tournament, and then start worrying about what will happen if we win them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll definitely help me switch just my mental focus for these games.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I've learned in my running a slow pitch softball team, men's lead. It's actually a church lead, and I've been one of the most successful coaches in the past 8 years. No longer volunteer head coach, now assistant coach. Can help another team when, as an assistant coach, become successful the next couple of years. But was playoffs. Do what you gotta do in regular season, right? Win your games. But as you guys learned this year, you lost to Lakeland. I graduated from Lakeland in 2002. That probably should have never happened, but it happens. But it's not the 1 or 2, 3, 4, or 5 losses you get during the season, up and downs. It's how you respond. And not only how you respond, as soon as you hit playoffs, how you're going to respond, what are you going to do, what are you going to learn from the mistakes you made during the regular season, and what could you do to get better, and how could you eliminate those mistakes you made, and how could you come together as a team and have a good attitude and be a good teammate and encourage your other teammates and motivate them and cheer on the guy that comes in from on the bench, which we've seen this year, a couple freshmen, stepping up big. That was awesome. Guys like that and include them in the game and encourage them. Because what I've learned is when I'm running a team, I want everybody matters. I want everyone to matter, and every player matters. Every substitute matters. Everyone on the bench matters because someday there might be somebody who might get hurt. Somebody might have a bad day and not able to play or what because they're hurt or whatever goes on. And you might need that player that's on that bench. I don't care who he is, why he is, what he is. If you like him or you don't like him in school, he's your teammate. And that's what's important. And that's something I've learned. You want to encourage everybody because the way they play affects the whole team. And what they do affects the whole team. I'm going to use an example. He's probably not watching, but now I'm just going to talk for a minute. I don't care. I went to high school with Lakeland football coach. Okay. So 2 years ago, I'm sharing my opinion, and then we'll continue the questions, going pretty quickly. Lakeland was very dominant in football, winning, undefeated. Wasn't DJ. His brother,
CJ Dupree.
What's his brother? I forgot his brother's name.
CJ? Is that the one that's at Bama right now?
Yeah, he's at Bama. He has a brother. I forgot his brother's name. But he played was senior at Lakeland. But he was a good football player. So Lakeland was dominant, 3 good wide receivers, a quarterback the whole season, running up points. He didn't even put in the backups as much. So I'm going to share my opinion, and I'm going to. And come playoffs, now you're running the quarterback a lot all season long, using the starters, even if you're up by 20 or 30. So you got into playoffs, district playoff game, your quarterback gets hurt, senior quarterback against Dunmore. It was fourth quarter. Put in a freshman who was nervous as hell, who couldn't even throw the ball or run. You could tell he was scared. So that didn't work out very well. They ended up winning anyways. So come state playoff game, what does the coach do? He puts in that quarterback who pulled a hammy a week before, senior, who could not move around in the pocket. Now when he couldn't even move around, you could tell he couldn't really throw as he used to and was able to because he couldn't put, weight on the leg or whatever. So his passes weren't as accurate. And then he fumbled the football like second quarter because a guy came on him and pulled the ball off him, and Lakeland should have won that game. So I'm going to throw my opinion because I'm going to. He had no plan B. The coach had no plan B. He had no plan B. It was that quarterback or none. He had an opportunity to put the freshman in throughout the season to get him comfortable, see if he's nervous. If he knew he was nervous and wasn't getting ready, and you're ready winning games, well, then you should have plan B or C ready. Because you already knew you could make a run to a state championship, which something Al Clayus does is he had freshmen coming in, 3 of them, I think, one starter, coming in when you needed them, making big shots. Yeah. He had plan B, C, and probably D, and E, F, G down the line, and that's what makes a good coach. So there was no plan B. So he put that starter out there injured. Lakeland lost the game. And I knew what it was. It was an ego. It was all the ego. because it was about that quarterback's dad who was well known in the area, and his grandfather was principal or something in the elementary school where I went to high school when I was growing up. So I think it was an ego trip, right? And it was politics. Rather than saying, you know what, we got somebody in that position. Maybe take a fast wide receiver. You have three of them there. He could move around better, teach him a couple of plays, and he would be playing C if you need him. No, that wasn't even there. If you had somebody that could move in the pocket, you might have stood a better chance of running and doing different things. So you lived and died on that, and you took the team down with them. And one of the best Lakeland teams probably since I was in high school. So that's not a team coach. I'm going to throw that out. I don't care. Putting that out there. So that's what's great about Al Clay's. He has playing B, C, and D, and freshman coming in, this guy coming in, no matter who he put in there, in big games, they're yelling threes. And that's what makes good coaches. That's what makes a coach going into Hall of Fames and different things. It's just that. So yeah, I just want to throw that in there, and I'm gonna move on to the next question.
I mean, I think the biggest part about Holy Cross is we're constantly being told, like, next guy up. Like, I came in as a freshman, and I was going in 6th, 7th man, and I was obviously like nervous, never being in that big of an environment like some of these bigger schools. Then I went out with an injury my freshman year, and then someone had to come in for me. And then sophomore year, we had a guy come back. He didn't play basketball when I was a freshman. He came back, and he had a huge role in the team. And then this year, like all 15 guys, 16 guys, however many we have on the roster, have a huge role because they're the ones pushing us in practice. They're the ones making us better. And I confidently think that some of those guys, even they're just playing defense, grilling us against, like when we're on defense in practice, they're probably better than some of the guys in the area that we play.
Yeah, I believe it. And yeah, it's having a good team environment and a good culture is what makes a difference. And attitude, good attitude, and being a good athlete and just a good person and motivator, it rubs off on other athletes, I believe. I've seen it in my life. So yeah, definitely true. So move on to the next question. What was one of your most memorable basketball games as a player?
I mean, the state championship's got to be up there, but I still think the game against Constitution had a lot more of an impact on us. Like, not just because we won, obviously we would have, but I think it meant a lot more because we only beat them one time in school history. We were walking around, like my friends in school, everyone's saying, "You got no chance. If we couldn't make it last year, there's no chance of us coming in this year." They were looking at their highlights, their roster, seeing that they're big, they're 6'5", they're 6'4", and everyone telling us that it wasn't possible, and us coming out and just jumping on them and shooting out. I don't remember what it was. We shot really good that game. I think it was high 70%, maybe low 80s from the field as a whole. And obviously, if we didn't do that, we would have lost that game. But it's exactly what we needed to do because we couldn't come out slow in that kind of a game. And then obviously the outcome, the whole celebration after the game, getting Hershey kisses thrown on you, our whole team going over and being in the student section. At least half our school was there and showed up, and that definitely will never be a memory that leaves my head.
Yeah, I was watching on, I think, the National High School, whatever, that app. I was at home. I was so pumped. So, yeah, you guys responded well to that with the negativity. And I have something I've learned is, when you're playing against a good team, it's good to know which players are good. It's good to have a game plan and study and know their plays, whatever. That's great. But end of the day, you can't fear the other team. You can't say, "Oh, wow, this team's really good." If you're a good team yourself and you're competitive, you say, just your mind self-talk is, we have a good team. We have Matt Lyons. We have Mike Hughes or whatever his name is, played well, and all these other athletes. And and then you go in there and you do what you got to do. Is when you start looking at other teams, I think that's you're ready to last. Because if you start fearing them, you're going to find yourself maybe not playing as well, right?
Yeah.
So that's something I've learned. Doesn't mean you're always going to win, but it's just a good philosophy.
Yeah.
The next question is what unique strengths did this team possess that led to their achievements in this past season?
Um, I think it was the chemistry that we came in with. Obviously, having those freshmen that stepped up, coming over the summer, and we lost a lot of guys, but the guys that came back have been playing with each other and for each other. And I think over the summer we played in these summer leagues, and we went to these. We went to New York, we went to Philly area, we went to Allentown for all these different tournaments to hopefully get us working together and get the chemistry going, because these guys at public schools like Scranton, Pittston, all these schools have been playing together since they were probably like 8, 9 years old. And they know who's going to be where at what time and how everybody plays. And going to a private school like Holy Cross, we just get thrown in there. We only get 4 years together, unless some of us went to grade school together. But I think it definitely surprised me how well we stuck together as a team and came out and became a team as the year went on. I think we definitely had some struggles earlier in the year, but I think later in the year, everybody was looking for each other, and it was less about me, I want to shoot, you want to shoot. It was more about win, and obviously that's what has to happen in playoffs. And everybody wants to look like they're playing their best game, because everybody has to be playing their best game in playoffs to be able to make these state championships.
Yeah, definitely. I saw you guys match up. It was on some of the games are on, I think, TV. I seen you match up against, it was a Scranton. I think it was in that tournament, right? And and then you lost by like 2 points or 3, and other teams are matched up against, you know. And as soon as you guys, like, I knew if you're matching up to these guys, a much bigger school, I knew you probably could match up well and possibly win a lot of games come playoffs. So, yeah. Move on. Next question. I attended a few games early in the season and 2 in the playoffs. I noticed that you didn't dunk much during the regular season. I don't know if I'm correct or not, but your dunks were prominent come playoff time. What was the motivating factor? Is that true? You didn't dunk much?
Well, I think it became more of a common part of my game as the season went on, because I didn't do it much last year, and obviously it's a practice skill, but I think my height definitely gives me a bigger edge over that. But as the season went on and I started doing it more and more, I was learning like it's hard for these guys that are smaller and can't get up that high to get up with me. And obviously, like, the layup is great. Like, my parents tell me just take the layup, but no one's getting up as high as me when I'm at the rim, and I have a higher chance of just putting it in than relying on it to hit the backboard, maybe take a bad hop. And on top of that, the crowd loves it. Everybody gets into it. It's a whole thing. The bench is up, our coaches are up, everybody loves it. And even when we're down and we're on a run, and I whip that one out, that definitely gets everybody going. It can change the momentum of the game in half a second just from the amount of noise that it creates in the crowd.
I love it. Yeah, that's true. You made a good point. Yeah, the crowd does get into it. Your teammates get into it, and it's definitely a good thing, I think. You know, because you're feeling it, and the players are feeling it. So, next question. Discuss the achievements of your teammate, Michael Hodgins. I think that's how you say his last name, right? Hughes. Michael Hughes in the past season, and what makes him special as a teammate?
Mike's a great player. I've been playing travel club with him probably since we were in 5th grade. Not every year, but I've known him and I've been on teams with him for a while. And he's a fantastic player. He's a great point guard. He's a fantastic shooter, and he's a great playmaker. Teams are scared of him. We got teams running a box and 1 on him because they know how lethal of a scorer he is, and the 3 levels that he can score on, from driving, mid range, and 3. And how it's hard to guard, because on top of that, he's very, very quick. Like, I've tried to guard him. He gets by anybody with 2 steps. His his legs move at a speed that I can't even comprehend. But I think he definitely has an impact on the team, because even when these teams are running these center defenses and they send 2 guys at him, well, we got 4 other guys that can score and can make plays with the ball. And then that opens up a lot more for us. But on top of that, him having 500 some points this season, we're not winning without that. He's the guy that we look to score, to get these get the offenses running, get the shots when we need them, and slow everything down whenever we're going out of control. And I think he definitely brings a whole different pace to the game.
Definitely. Like, I was just thinking now, he would be one of your leaders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get the team going and motivated, and
yeah,
awesome. During your sophomore year, Al Clares Sr. was your coach, and this past season, his son Al Clares Jr. took over as coach. Can you discuss the transition in coaching styles or philosophies?
There's really nothing different, if I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. It's the same culture, it's the same game plan. I mean, both coaches, we were in the classroom an hour before practice, watching film, knowing every team inside out. Even when we think we know them, he finds just I think Junior is a lot more nitpicky with it, and he did it even when Senior was the coach. He would find the smallest play, like the tiniest little slip screen that he would find that one player would do once a game, and he'd know that we'd be ready for it, and that we'd have a way to counter it. And I think both of them bring the intense fire that obviously a lot of other coaches do, but even in the locker room, what you can't see, like he's bringing trying to do everything that he can to motivate you, getting you amped up, and then on the court, he's a fantastic coach. He knows exactly what to call and when to call it at the exact right time. And I think both of them are fantastic coaches, and it's the same. It's the same plays. Practices are very, very similar. And I think you could definitely tell, even if you just watched Holy Cross in the past and then watched it this year and compared the two and didn't know that the two coaches were father and son, you could definitely see a huge similarity between the two. And it definitely comes back to the fact that they've been working together for a while.
Yeah, and Al Jr. showed it, to lead you guys to the state championship his first year coaching. Definitely set the standard, and I'm going to say it. I think coming in the season, just stay humble and stay focused. I think, sports writers will be predicting you guys probably to win it all, but just take one game at a time and stay focused and ignore the noise, and do what you got to do, and don't be distracted. Do what you guys are good at, and go from there. But yeah, I definitely think you're going to hear it. So
yeah,
that's a good thing. I think, like, I usually sometimes I predict my own team. Like I set a standard for my own team coming to softball seasons I have. And depending on the talent I know is in the lead and on teams, I predicted my team to win the championships in 2022. I said, this is my year. The one team dropped out. That was a former team of mine that I left. And they had a lot of these same players I brought in. And I said, we could win this. And we did. So I don't think having that confidence and hearing newspapers, for you guys, newspaper writers saying, yeah, they could win it. I think use that as motivation. Use it as to work harder and be motivated, be more focused. I think that's what could drive you. Just don't get distracted and don't be prideful. Just do what you're good at and stay humble.
Yep.
And it's going to pay off. I guarantee
Absolutely.
it. So move on to the next question. Last year, under Coach Al Clares Sr., Holy Cross fell short in the semifinals. Was there any expectation coming into this season with new coach Al Clares Jr.?
Not really. I mean, a lot of people thought that we were gonna fall off, be a different team, having a new coach, losing all of our players, our starters having one returning starter. A lot of people thought, even the writers around here, we didn't even have a chance to win the league. We might not win our district. And over the summer, Coach Al came in and he was like, don't listen to what anyone has to say. Like we're doing exactly what we come in to do every year for Holy Cross. And if you step in our gym and you see those numbers on that wall, we've only been a school since 2007, 2008, I think. And there's more numbers on that basketball banner than anything else in that gym. And I think just there's always expectations. No team for Holy Cross ever comes out and is happy with whatever they finish as. They want to be more no matter what. Like we want to win everything. Even over the summer when we're in something as simple as the summer league, we want to be winning that because we want to prove to everybody in our area that Holy Cross is a dominant team and a dominant force every year, and there's no such thing as an off year for us.
I love it. Al Clay Jr. is amazing. Yeah, he sold the team to you. He like I've learned that like growing up, I think it was 2003. I interviewed Lakeland's boys basketball coach for track and field, Phil Cicelli, and he was coached for like 25 years. I think he won around like 220 meets, and only lost like 20. And interviewed him. One of the things he said as a coach, and he saw the program. I took it as like as I got older, and I formed teams. I would recruit random guys and basketball leads, this and that I knew were good. I'd be like, yeah, I think we could win a championship. And I did that every year. I'd done it every year in softball. I think you come and play for me, like random guy on the internet, a 22-year-old or something. Many of them I done it with random messaging, random people in the area. And I sold the team that I think we could win it, and people came and played. And to be honest with you, by the second year, we made state championships. Oh, we won it, and won it once. But we made state championships like 3 times, and it was my second year of 2 different teams that we made the state championships my second year. And yeah, I think there's a lot of power in that, and a lot of power what Al Jr. did was the expectations is always there, and it will always be there, and it is not a bad thing. It should make you proud, make you want to work hard, and be proud of the program you're part of, and the success, in the level of success you get to by playing for that program and a good coach and good organization, and it should make you feel good and make you feel blessed to be there. And I think it was very important maybe what Al Jr. did. He just went right in there, and the expectation was the same. And first year there, and yeah, you showed it. You made state championships and overcame a lot of naysayers and other doubts and all that. And here's awesome run. And yeah, that's awesome that Al did that. I love that. Gives me like the goosebumps. What aspects of playing basketball at Holy Cross do you find the most enjoyable?
Probably the culture and the family-like aspects. Even with the coach, not just the players, even the coaches. Everybody has each other's backs, whether it be on or off the court. With anything that we have, like we do as much as we can off the court to keep us together. Like we went to a college game during the year. We went to a game down at LaSalle just to do something as a team to keep our bonding together. And I think that everyone being together and constantly being together and being there for each other definitely has a huge impact on the success of a basketball team.
Yeah, definitely. Next season, you have all your starters returning, correct? Yeah, all your starters returning, including some key freshmen who will, of course, be sophomores next season. They stepped up big this past year.
Yep.
What expectation does your team have for next season?
I think the same expectation everyone's got for us at this point. Bring it all home for Holy Cross. I mean, we obviously wanted to this year, but I think obviously we can't get too big heads thinking like, oh, it's going to be easy. It's not. We're going to have to work twice, if not 3 times as hard to recreate what we did and to get back, even let alone to win. And I think that the hard work that we're going to put in and that we already are, I know at all the starters and then a lot of the guys, even off the bench and on the team, no one took a day off. The second the season was done, we all went and we did our thing with travel and non-travel and AAU and personal workouts. No one was like, oh, let's take a month off to heal ourselves. Everyone's ready for next season, and we'll probably be starting up workouts for Holy Cross within the next few weeks in anticipation to get ready for this, because it sucks that we went home early, but especially as a senior that I'm going to be next year, I'd like to go out on a win. Losing your last game, obviously a lot of players have to experience that, especially in this area. But if we as a team can go into next year and come out with a win as a state championship, I think us as a senior class and my classmates would definitely think that's the best possible outcome we can have from next year.
Yeah, good answer. When there's big expectations, as Holy Cross has every year, there's a big expectation, right? Year after year after year comes a target on your back. You know, you guys made state championships this year. This just came to me now, just to have this. So you're going to come in the season, and they know everyone's returning. So you're going to have a target. So you got to stay focused, keep working hard, keep doing, finding your weak spots, getting better at certain plays, getting better at miscues, and just keep doing what you're good at doing. And just stay humble and keep working hard and really stay focused, playing your game and what you're all good at doing and everything. And I think that's the key, especially come playoffs. Stay focused and take one game at a time, you know? So that's definitely helpful. So yeah, I have this last question. As a senior, next year you'll be a senior. How can you inspire and motivate your team to attain this target?
I think that as senior leaders, that me, Mike, Mario, that we're definitely going to have to step up to be keeping everyone focused on what the goal is, and not like I said earlier, it's not much as like me as it is us. And we're looking to get back to where we were, like we never left for the postseason. Obviously, like you said, there's going to be a big target on our back from everybody. Riverside, Old Forge, Mid-Valley, Dunmore, Lakeland, and whoever else is joining our league this year. Everyone knows that we made a state championship, and everyone's going to want to beat us now. Now we're the team to beat, because then everyone could say that, oh, we would have won that state. We would have won that class. They're in a smaller class, but in reality, that's what's going to happen, and we're prepared for that, and we're going to have to go into these bigger environments like at Dunmore and at Riverside, where the crowds get insane and out of control, and keep it under control. So no school can have that leverage over us, saying that they beat us and they could have easily done what we did, if not more.
Yeah, definitely good answer and good perspective. And what I've learned, like I believe and learned, was a good athlete is not only a good athlete that's scoring a lot, making a lot of big plays, but a good athlete is somebody who makes their teammates better, who makes that freshman on the bench when he comes in better, who gives that freshman confidence, who goes up to that freshman saying, yeah, I believe you could do it. You could get better. You could compete, just keep working hard and keep them encouraged. Because again, when everybody else is doing what they're supposed to be doing, feeling good, getting confident and knowing that you believe in them and they have potential, especially your leadership coming in next year as a senior, when they got better, you got better. Because when the guys on the bench are coming in and they're better and they're doing what they need to do, as we've seen this year, now the focus comes off of you a little bit. Because now it's not just Matt or Mike or Hughes or this guy. Now we got freshmen here, the freshmen on the bench coming in, making plays, shooting the basketball, hitting 3-pointers. So now the target's off you, and now they got to worry about these guys over here. And then before you know it, that's when you start winning big games that you have done this year. So yeah, good athlete, leader, somebody that I think sometimes make others better. And it's amazing how much influence you could have, like yourself, on other players, and especially freshmen, especially next year. There's freshmen coming up. The influence you could have, because I'm sure they were watching you when they were in 8th grade, right?
Yep.
And they're admired by, the way you play and dunking and stuff, and probably going to be thankful to be playing with you, So just some encouragement, and I can't wait can't wait for next year.
Yeah, kind of.
So yeah, thank you for coming on here and taking your time, taking time out of your life and to come on here. And I wish you luck in track and field and districts, and wish you luck next year. And I can't wait for basketball to start.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on here.
You're welcome, and have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. So yeah, that's Matt Lyons. So if you like our content, subscribe to our podcast and keep updated when we release content and stuff. So have a good night.